Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this evening's presentation. I want to thank you for taking out the time for your busy schedule to join us this evening. Before I get started, you want to thank the person that invited you. They've invited you to hear about the technology that is literally life-changing. We are on a mission to eradicate bad health and bad death in our communities. And when I talk about bad health, I'm talking about your wealth. Your wealth actually is your health, because again, without health, what good is to have money and finances? What if you had the choice to have $1 million or to have your health? I know people that have over $1 million, but they're in pain. They're taking medications. They're in walk-ins, and they need the aid of walkers and canes and wheelchairs to get around. They have to have somebody tending to them. A lot of other illnesses that go with it. So if you had a choice of having your health or your wealth, if you're like me, I would choose health every time. But what do you have? What if you have the opportunity to have both your health and your wealth? Well, we're going to present that to you today. Those of you who got an invitation, if you don't mind doing so, when you get a chance in the chat, just put your name in and who invited you so that the guests and our members know that you were here. But also, we're going to keep the phones on mute and we're going to keep the cameras off as well because we're going to be recording today's session, and we don't want to interfere with the stream of this presentation. So if you look in the chat and you don't see your guest online, just send them a quick text to remind them that we're getting started. We don't want to delay. We want to respect the time of those who came on time, and we are in for a treat. So sit back, relax. If you can, grab a pen and a paper. It's always good to take notes. You might hear some things tonight that are new to you. You might hear some things that are intriguing, that can be life changing for you. So you don't want to miss that opportunity. So let's go ahead and get started tonight's presentation. Let me talk about who I am because it's important. Anytime you are invited to a presentation, you want to know a little bit about the speaker. So I took the opportunity to share with you my why page. This is my dream board. This is my family. This is what's important to me: my family, my faith, and my fun. My name is Derek Hawkins. I'm your guest this evening, your host this evening. As you can see, I have pictures with my lovely wife, Dr. Angela Williams, Evangelist Dr. Williams Hawkins. I'm a deacon. I'm the leader of my men's ministry at my house of worship. My wife and I both received an honorary doctorate in humanitarianism because of the work that we've done over 20 years, each of us separately and together have done in our communities with regard to helping. In her case, my wife has a women's organization. She helps women establish their businesses. I've always been a mentor to young men, and my passion is to help young men have success. You can see my family, you can see my faith. I also played basketball at a high level. I played until I was in my early 60s when I finally got injured. I injured my Achilles playing in the All-Star game in New York. Probably should have gave up before then, but I love and I'm passionate about the game. But also my family is important to me. See, my family, we had a trip to Washington, D.C. together. And at the very bottom of the screen, you see my lovely granddaughter waving to you. I'm a father, grandfather, husband, and I have a huge family. So I want to thank you all. And again, that's just a little bit of background who I am. I'm a retired engineer after 36 and a half years of working for the largest transportation agency in the New York, New Jersey area, which is known as the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. I retired there as a civil engineer with a nice pension and did pretty well in terms of income. But I always knew from the time I started working that making a job, having a job and exchanging time for money, I could always make a living. You know, I could pay for trips. I can afford to travel a little bit. I could pay my bills, but I didn't have the wealth that I'm talking about to be able to do what you want when you want, and not regardless of the cost. But again, that is what you have today. So let's get right into the presentation. My first question to you, particularly if you are a guest, is have you been patched yet? And if you have not been patched yet, by the time I'm finished with this presentation, not only will you want to get patched, you will want to share with everyone you know, because everyone can use these patches. Again, this is one of the beauties of it, is that we're in a position to help every person in the planet. Everybody can use and needs this patch. Now, why is it important to have this patch? What is this patch? This patch is called X39. That's the name of it because there were 38 attempts to develop and get to this point. On the 39th trial, guess what? We hit gold. And this is important because by the time you turn 30, half your stem cells are inactive. By the time you turn 60, well over 90% or most of your stem cells are inactive. And why is that important? Because your stem cells make up the tissues and organs in your bodies. They are the body's intended repair system. Without it, your body does not heal well. The less active stem cells we have, the slower we heal, and the faster we feel the effects of aging. If you can just think about a time when you were younger, I remember as a child breaking an arm, scraping my knee, riding my bike, just having all kind of injuries. I remember coming out of a cast in about a week or two, and my arm was like new. I remember scars being totally gone. But what happens if you have that same injury when you're in your between 30 and 60 or even later? Now, if you get a bruise or a scratch or injure yourself, guess what? That becomes a permanent scar. But what if you break a leg or you break any other limbs? I know so many friends now getting knee replacements, hip replacement. I have a good friend that I call him the bionic man because he has so many replacements. Because now, if you injure yourself when you get older and you break a bone, it doesn't heal the way it used to. So again, the less stem cells we have, the slower we heal, and the faster we feel the effects of aging. And I know many of you know people who may be in their 30s, but they look like in their 50s or 60s. But you also know people in their 60s and 70s who look like they're in their 40s and 50s. That is because they're taking care of themselves. But the bottom line is the effects of aging are increasing. We finding younger people and teenagers and in the early and 20s and 30s getting diseases like diabetes and other things that they normally wouldn't see. If you go back 20, 30 years ago, that was usually relegated to the elderly or older population. But now it is happening at a faster rate because of the challenges of life. Not only the effects of aging, not only our stem cells becoming dormant, the food, the water that we eat and the drink is not the same. We're affected with pollution from the air with all the fires that are happening around the country. So we're being attacked on all fronts, land, air, and sea. But we have a solution. So you at the right place at the right time because how can we take care of the effect of aging without taking drugs, chemicals, surgery, or other medical trials? This is how the X39 works. It is a proprietary form of phototherapy. As you know, proprietary simply means it is owned. There is a patent on it. It's a patent in nanocrystal technology. Nano simply means small. Crystals, again, is made up of organic sugars, crystals, and plant-based ingredients. It is non-transdermal, which means it doesn't penetrate the skin. What it does, it reflects light to activate dormant stem cells. And to do that, there is a protein in our body called copper peptide, GHKCU. For those of you who want to look it up, it's called a copper peptide, and it was discovered back in 1973 by another scientist named Lauren Picard that if you can figure out a way to activate your copper peptides, it will wake up those dormant stem cells. Again, what this patch does, it reflects light to activate your copper peptide. And how does that work? If you think about how we get vitamin D, some people think that we literally get vitamin D from the sun. But what happened is the certain wavelengths of light, infrared light, when it hits our body, it wakes up the dormant stem cells that are already God given. God has given us a body to heal itself. We just needed somebody to figure out the code. And this gentleman I'm going to share in a minute discovered that code. There's no drugs or chemicals. I love that. You don't have to deal with the pharmaceutical cartels, as I call them, who, as much as I respect doctors, most doctors, when they go to school, they learn how to treat, not how to prevent. That is why when you go to them, you tell them what you have. They usually are quick to recommend some drug or some kind of surgery. And if you ever look at those commercials about certain drugs, they always these very lively commercials. Everybody looks happy in the commercials. It looks like a good time. But if you look at it, what the big print giveth, the small print take it away. I look at some of the side effects from some of these drugs, and it says could cause heart attack, could lead to death, could lead to stroke. Now, I don't know about you, but those aren't something to be happy about. Those are just the side effects of taking these drugs and chemicals. This is 100% non-invasive, does not penetrate the skin. Again, it uses your own body's internal systems to repair itself. Library products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. It simply wakes up your dormant stem cells and say, hey, let's go to work and find out what needs to be repaired. That is how the patch works. Now, the inventor of this patch, his name is David Schmidt. David Schmidt is he's not new to this technology. In fact, 20 years ago, 21 years ago, he was hired by the Navy SEALs because they wanted somebody to develop a technology in this particular form is a form of a patch that would allow them to stay alert for more than 36 hours without crashing, without the effects that you get when you take an energy drink or coffee or drugs. They wanted something natural, and he developed his first energy patch over 21 years ago. Again, he's a scientist and an inventor. He now has over 200 patents. It says 130 on the screen, but he has well over 200 patents. He is never ending in terms of finding ways to help people cure and heal themselves. Now, he specializes in age reversal technology. In fact, the majority of his patents are dedicated to age reversing technologies. In 2008, David focused his attention on stem cell research. And as you can imagine, back in 2008, stem cell was the buzzword, particularly stem cell injections. Now, stem cell injections, there are a lot of challenges with that. First of all, it's a localized treatment. For example, if you have a bad knee, you can get a stem cell injection in your knee area. It costs anywhere from $5,000 to $50,000 from quotes that I've heard. It's not guaranteed. In many cases, it's not legal in some countries. And again, it's not covered by any medical insurance. So you're really taking a chance if you want to get stem cell injections. So David actually focused attention on stem cell research. He spent 10 years and $4.5 million of his own money to bring X39 to market. Just think about that. Somebody spending 10 years of their life and $5 million, close to $5 million of their own money to find a way to help people heal. And that's David's, he's a man of faith. Gentleman is doing some phenomenal things, and that is how the patch works. It's a patented technology. Here's the one thing you have to understand about a patent. You cannot get a patent for something if it does not work. Let me say that again. You can't get a patent because you think something might work or it could do something. You only can get a patent if what you say it does, it does. And again, this patent is a wearable phototherapy apparatus that produces beneficial effects to the human body, such as activation of stem cells, improvement in strength, improvement in stamina, pain relief via non-transdermal container, and the non-transdermal apparatus reflects emits specific wavelengths of light to elevate levels of the copper peptide GHKCU in the body. Remember that. GHKCU is the holy grail of peptides. The gentleman, again, who developed it in 1973, discovered that if you can elevate your copper peptides, you will wake up those dormant stem cells that we talk about. We have a patent. There's another 15 years left on the patent. So this is the only place that you can get this particular patch legally. Now I'm going to show a short video. It's about 3 minutes. It's going to show you and explain to you how the patch works. A very simple explanation. After that video is over, I'm going to come back on the other side. I'm going to tell you, how do you wear the patch? Where do you put it? How long do you wear it? What are the benefits of the patch? I'm going to show you some examples of some people that have had benefits from it and even a few testimonies. And so stay tuned. Take some notes if you must. And I will see you on the other side of the video.
Light, an ancient form of energy that goes back to the dawn of time. For us, it all begins with the sun, the source of light and life for our entire solar system. Even Einstein concluded that everything we're made of contains light. All life originates with the sun through photosynthesis. Plants and vegetation collect the light, and all living creatures emit light. Humans actually emit infrared light, which can be seen with night vision devices. We've known for centuries that light has many effects on the body. LifeWave's phototherapy patches use light that can promote a general state of health and healthy activity unique to each LifeWave patch. Here's how the technology works. First, a patch is applied to specific points on the body. Where the patch covers the skin, infrared energy emitted from the body is reflected back into the body and then taps into the body's own natural flow of energy. LifeWave phototherapy patches promote an environment that enables the body to optimize its restorative energy and enhances your ability to live well without the use of harmful drugs or chemicals. To find out more, contact your distributor. LifeWave. Live long, live well.
Great. I hope that video did a great job of explaining it. And just to recap, basically what this patch does, when you put it on your body, it acts as a mirror. It reflects infrared light back inward into your body at a certain frequency. And as I mentioned earlier, after 38 trials, David finally figured out the right frequency. And that, on trial number 39, that is why it's called X39. And these are the benefits of wearing a patch, because once you reflect the light back inward and you activate your copper peptides, your stem cells wakes up and say, hey, let's go to this body and see what it needs. Some of the benefits include increase in strength, reduce inflammation, energy, and vitality, increase in stamina. Your mental clarity picks up, restored muscle and skeletal conditions, improvement of sleep, improved skin appearance. And I notice by me wearing a patch, the longer I wear it, the more of these things I experience. Just to share quickly how I was introduced to the patch, a good friend of mine told me about the patch. And at the time, I was going through physical therapy for my back twice a week, because when I sat down for more than an hour or so, every time I stood up, I would have to stretch and get the kinks out just to be comfortable. And when I went to bed at night, I would toss and turn. I had to sleep in the perfect position to be comfortable. Otherwise, I was tossing and turning all night. Also had sleep apnea, so I kept my wife up most of the night. And because it would sound like I was going to stop breathing, literally. So, but the reason I got the patch, I wanted to see if it would help with my back. And within the first week of wearing the patch, my wife noticed that I stopped snoring. I was sleeping like a baby. And I didn't even tell her I had gotten the patch. I wanted to see if it worked before I even mentioned it. And she noticed that in the first week. And I told her, well, I'm wearing these patches. I want to see if it's going to help my back. And within 3 weeks, the inflammation and the discomfort I had in my back gone. I haven't been back to physical therapy for 2 years now since wearing the patch. But in addition to that, my strength increased, my stamina, my mental clarity picked up, things I didn't can remember. I remember when I sleep now, I don't just sleep, I have dreams again, and sometimes even in color. My strength improved. I had injured my Achilles playing basketball at 61 years of age in a tournament outside, no less, in New York City. And within 5 minutes of running up the court, I ruptured my Achilles. That is healed completely. Can barely even see the scar where I had surgery. So the bottom line is, the patch does work. The longer work, the more benefits you'll see. Now, here's an example of the benefits of the patch. This is the brain scan of a 77-year-old woman. She had migraine headaches for years. I mean, excruciating pain. And so she started using the patch. In the first week, the first session she went in, on the far left, you notice the reddish orange area. That represents inflammation in the brain, lack of brain coherence. So she put on the patch and she started wearing it and following instructions and wearing it, drinking plenty of water, wearing it for 12 hours on, 12 hours off. She came back 3 weeks later for session number 2. They did another brain scan. If you take a look, there is no inflammation, improved brain coherence. And look what happened after the third session, after 6 weeks, a complete turnaround, better brain coherence, migraines are gone. And I want you to understand that what you're looking at is the brain scan of a 77-year-old woman. And even though this is the brain scan of a 77-year-old woman, this is a reflection of her stem cell activity. So this is happening in the brain. Imagine what it's doing for the heart. Imagine what it's doing for your bone structure. Imagine what it's doing for your blood, your liver, your kidneys, all the issues that you deal with. It goes to work and identifies what it needs to do. So this is a phenomenal discovery and technology. Again, you cannot deny the benefits of it. Now, the long-term results of the patches are based on case studies. In the first couple of days, 4,000 genes begin to reset, and that probably is reflective of what happened to me in the first couple of days. I started sleeping better. My sleep apnea went away. Haven't had that issue since then. And again, the significance of having 4,000 of your genes reset is that there have been studies done, particularly on those who drink red wine. They said if you drink enough red wine, you could actually reset 2 of your genes. Could you imagine how much red wine you'd have to drink to reset 4,000 of your genes? Within 6 weeks, your brain becomes balanced. I just shared with you a brain scan, which shows you physical proof that it becomes balanced within 6 weeks of wearing a patch. Within 3 months, your collagen is increased. That's really important. I notice even myself, I have a lot of friends and colleagues who I grew up with who every time, once in a while I run into them and they ask me, even in the midst of winter, have I been on vacation? They said, your skin looks younger, looks clear, you look younger. What are you doing? That is because my collagen is increasing. Collagen is not just for the hair and the nails and the skin. It's also throughout your body. Your organs need collagen. Within 6 months, your heart reverses in age by 8 years. Now, I know that sounds like maybe I misquoted something, but no. You have two ages. You have your physical age, how long you've been living on this earth, how many trips you've had around the sun. Let's say you're 60 years old. Uh, but you also have what's called a vascular age. Your vascular age is how well conditioned your heart is. And that's based on, how good your blood flow is, how good is your organs connected to your flow. And again, that is why some people who are in their 30s and their 40s who might look like they're in their 60s to 70s because their vascular age is older than their physical age. But then you also have the opposite. You have people in their 60s and 70s that look a lot younger than they are. And then again, that's because you have two ages, and that's what this patch does every 6 months. And again, this is proven. You cannot make a quote about something. And again, you can't say it if it didn't happen. And again, that is why there is a patent. And again, remember what I said about patents. You can't get a patent if it doesn't do what it says it does. Now, this patch is not anti-aging, it's age reversing. That is a quote from David Schmidt, the inventor of the X39 himself. Now, how do you wear the patch? Very simply, you wear the patch for 12 hours on and 12 hours off to repair and rejuvenate. Now, if you look at the diagram, you notice the patch in the front, they're wearing it just below the belly button, and in the back, they're wearing it at the top of the neck because you have large gatherings of stem cells in those areas. They did that during the clinical trials because they have to be consistent. Anytime you do a study, the information has to be taken from the consistent location, but you can wear the patch anywhere on the body. Once you wear the patch, if you put it on, for example, at 8 o'clock in the morning, you take it off at 8 o'clock at night, you discard it. and then you get rid of it, and then you let your body repair and rejuvenate. It is well known that while you're sleeping, your body repairs and rejuvenates itself. That is why it's important to get good sleep. Then you put a new patch on the next day and you repeat it. Now, you can wear more than one patch at a time, but generally one patch is all you need. Drink plenty of water, but not just any kind of water. You want to drink alkaline water, water with minerals in it. There's all kind of things you can do to enhance the water that you drink. But again, you must drink plenty of water. It is very important because water represents flow. Now, that is why so many people in this country are not healthy. If they just drank more water, again, they'd be healthier. That is why when you go into an emergency room, the first thing they do when they roll you into an emergency room is they hydrate you because they know most of us don't drink enough water. Now, many people don't drink enough water. They say, well, I don't like water, but guess what? Your body likes water. So you need to give it what it likes and what it needs. Okay, drink plenty of water and you will see better and results. Now, sounds so sophisticated, yet simple to explain. I'm going to share some testimony with some of our partners if they're online. And again, they may or may not be online. If they're not, we're going to may call out one of our other partners. So be prepared to tell your testimony. If you're one of our team members, I'm sure your testimony is going to be great. But let me just see if who we have online. We stop sharing my screen for a minute. And let me go to the list and see who's on. And as a reminder, if you are a guest and take a minute in the chat, put your name and who invited you. I noticed there's some people, all I see is a phone number or a Zoom user. We can't tell who you are. So for the benefit of your person who may invited you, please put in the chat your name and who invited you. And I'm gonna see is Fred. Fred, are you on the line this evening? If you are, unmute yourself to give a testimony. Okay, I don't see Fred. Miss Candy Kane, are you in position to give a testimony? If you are, let me know. If not, I'll go into one of our other partners. Yeah, all right. Right. And let's see. So, Miss Candy Cane, are you able to do a testimony? If not, I'm going to move on. Miss Gloria Harrison, if you're available, let me know if you can do a testimony. If not, we'll come back to that.
Hello.
Hello, is that Gloria Harrison?
Yeah.
Hey, Gloria, can you share a testimony with us while you're online? If you don't mind.
Well, I do have something recently. I was in Virginia um last week
Mm-hmm.
and I was on my way coming back from Virginia. Traffic is so bad. I didn't know the traffic was that bad in Virginia. And for some reason I got a cramp in my knee, my right knee, the knee that I'm supposed to be driving with. And
Mm,
it was very, very, very painful. Traffic, I mean, buku. There was no place to stop and everything.
mm.
So it was so bad. I said to my sister, I said, please, open my purse, give me a patch, give me a patch, give me a patch. So actually, the first one she pulled out for me was the ice wave. So I pulled it out and put it on my knee, and I put it where the pain was. The I call it chocolate and vanilla. So I put the chocolate where the pain was, and then put the vanilla on the other side. And within 5 minutes, my
Wow.
pain was gone. It was gone just like that because I was really really concerned. The traffic was so bad, and people there was accidents all over the place. So I was just really really grateful um, how that happened and how quick I recovered from that. It was just a blessing. But I do wanna share um, the day that I actually it was the first day that I got the life wave. I had it to come in one I had it to come in one day, and I never took it out of the box and everything, because I actually bought it for other people. Didn't think I would be using it for myself. But I
Mm,
got up that morning because I usually get up early in the morning, and I was just so sick. I felt like I thought I was going to have a stroke. I
wow.
was just that sick. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to live this day, right? I thought I was actually thought I was going to die that day. And so I couldn't see how to get back into my bedroom. It was like about 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was just so sick. And finally, my prayer partner called, and it was my time to pray, but I couldn't pray. I was just so sick. And I forgot that I had just got the patches. I had got the patches the day before, never even took them out of the box. So here I am feeling like I'm dying. I mean, it was really bad. I'd never been that sick before. And then all of a sudden, I said, I got the patch. So I actually went and took them out of the box, put a patch on. I laid down on the bed, and I must lay there for a couple of hours. I woke up. I was completely free from any pain, any type of sickness at all. It was such an exciting thing for me. I just I couldn't believe anything would work like that. So it blessed me. But the next day I went ahead and I used it on one of the brand partners, Debbie. She I went to her job. She was in pain. She was in excruciating pain, and I
Mm.
went in. I took a patch, put on her, well, because the people that worked with her, they were actually going to go across the street and get her something for pain. But as soon as I put the patch on her, immediately her pain was gone. And her staff said, "What did you do to her? What did you do to her?" I said, "All I did was put the patch on her." And this is the first 3 days of the patch. The third day, um, Michelangelo, who you guys know, Michelangelo was having a phantom pain with his leg. And I said, "Well, come by my house. I got something for you. I got something that's going to help you. It's going to help you." And he was in some serious pain. I actually patched him, and sitting there talking to him about the patches, because I patched him as soon as he walked in the door, talking to him about the patches. And he held his head down and he said, "I feel like crying." I'm like, why do you feel like you're crying? And he just sat there and just shook his head. And then finally he says, "I am in no more pain." The pain was gone just like that. So it was so interesting for me to see back to back like that how God was moving with the patches. And right away, Debbie went, she bought the patches. Right away, Michael went and he bought the patches. And the patches, I mean, they are on. They are really doing it. I have people right now all over. People, a lady in New York just called me about the patches that I had sent her, and it's helping her. She hasn't become a customer yet, but I believe she is going to be coming on. Friend of mine, I got to tell you this one. A friend of mine is in Florence, South Carolina. She started the patches, but she had stopped. She said she was having pain after she stopped using it. And she
Mm.
said in the middle of the night, she was talking to God. This is what she told me today. And he said to her, "You need to go back on the patches." So she called her son, and her son is getting patches for her again. So I mean, I've seen God do miracles with the patches. I'm excited. I'm excited because I I'm a retired nurse, but I love to see people being whole, and just I'm seeing that more and more and more with the patches. What's happening, and I keep telling people you're being delivered. You're being
Right.
delivered. There's deliverance taking place, and
Hmm.
people just need to not be afraid to do it and see what God is doing, because I do believe He's in the midst of all this. That's all I
Absolutely.
have to say.
Thank you very much, Gloria Harrison out of Delaware, for sharing that with us. Again, we have so many more testimonies. I'm going to tell you we can see those testimonies a little bit later, but let me go ahead and continue with the presentation. Again, just remember, if you are a guest and you was invited by any of our members or partners, please put in the chat your name and who's you invited by. There's some names and numbers in the chat, in the group, or that's on the call, that there's no name associated with it, so they may not realize that you're actually on the call. So let's move forward with the testimony. Yeah, so you just heard about the patch. The patch can provide what we call health freedom, freedom from medication, freedom from surgeries, freedom from pain, freedom from challenge that you have. If you have trouble sleeping, it helps people sleep better, dream better, rest better. I mean, there's so many things that it does, because when you think about it, stem cells are throughout your whole body. So this patch can provide health freedom for those who are looking for it, which is your wealth freedom. And again, once you do that, for those of you who are so inclined, there is a component where if you share that patch with other people, guess what? The company will reward you through commissions and bonuses by simply sharing the patch with others. Again, and if you have and you have financial freedom and health freedom, guess what? You now can have time freedom. You can sleep until you finish sleeping. You don't have to wait till an alarm clock. You can go sleeve shopping. Or you don't have to go sleeve shopping if you know what that means. You go into the store, you see something you like until you look at the price on the sleeve, and then all of a sudden you don't like it. Or would it be nice to go into a store and not even look at the sleeve and say, I want that, that, and that? How about when you go into the restaurant, no longer looking at the menu from right to left? If you know what that means. So the bottom line is you have an opportunity to have that with LifeWay. I'm going to share with you how to do it over the next 10 to 15 minutes. So sit tight, take some notes as I get into the financial freedom portion of it. Again, you want to put on your business hat. If you've ever looked at businesses before, there are certain things that hopefully stand out for you as I'm going to share with you stood out for me with LifeWave and why I decided. So you know what? I see this as a viable way to generate some additional cash flow in my household. And in today's world, we can all use some additional income. If not, if you don't need additional income, as a friend said, let me hold something. All right. But put on your business hat. Now, this is the company growth, 20-year-old company, 21 years this year. They're in over 75 countries. And the reason that is growing because it's not a Me Too product. What do I mean by that? It's not weight loss, vitamins, skincare, supplements. Not there's anything wrong with those types of products, but there are hundreds of companies that sell all of those things I just mentioned. Recently, I was at a gas station. They even selling vitamins and supplements at the gas station. But here's what you want to think about. The company started again 21 years ago. They averaged $20 million in revenue for almost that entire time. But between 2021 and 2022, it went from $20 million to $320 million the next year. And it all coincides with the increase, with the discovery of the X39. In 2023, $430 million. It jumped to over $600 million in 2024. And this year, the company is projected to be a $1 to $2 billion company. And you have an opportunity to participate in that wave if you so choose to. Here's an idea of how significant the growth is in this company. Per businessforhome.org, they evaluate 6,000 companies around the world, particularly direct sales companies, and they evaluate them based on their growth, their product, their management. And our company was ranked #1 in momentum 2 years in a row. Last year, and again, we were ranked #1 this year out of 6,000 companies. So that should give you an idea how powerful this company is and the fact that you're at the right place at the right time. Now, we also received the Global Bravo Award, which is given out to top companies in the world by the Direct Seller Network. And again, they did it again 2 years in a row. Now I'm going to talk about, what's most important to you. And this is a question you have to answer. Are these things important to you? Family, for me, that was a check. Time freedom, another check mark. How about security? Financial security, health security. We get insurance for our cars. We get insurance for our homes. We get life insurance. But how many of you have financial insurance in case of loss of income? If you like to travel, better health, less debt. Again, we are on a mission. We're on a crusade to eliminate bad debt and bad health in our communities, and that's what this opportunity allows you to do. Let's talk about how you can get compensated in this company. The company has what's called a binary commission structure. And this is one of two of the commission structures. And the way binary works is you have a left side and a right side, or a left team and a right team. Well, you can invite people to join. Now, you only have a left and a right side. So let's say two people that you can identify on the left, two people on the right. Maybe you know somebody who's underworked, somebody who's underpaid. Maybe somebody's sick and tired of being sick and tired, or somebody just looking to increase their revenue. Either way, if you can find four people who see what you see and they get started and become a brand partner like we are, you will have an opportunity to get paid up to $25,000 in commission, depending on your rank. Now, again, when you think about a binary, the beauty of a binary is it's a collective. And what do I mean by that? Let's say that's you at the top of the screen and you invite two people to join your left and two people join your right. They decide they want to share with other people. They're going to be doing two things. And what we generally do is we buy patches and use them for our health and our wealth. We share with other people by giving out samples, and they do the same. They give out samples and they give out patches. And some people decide, hey, I want to do this as a business, and they sign up as a brand partner, and the company rewards them every time they share with others. So if somebody above you signs somebody up on your left side, guess what? That person is now on your left side, and now you're starting to bank what they call volume. And as you bank volume, you start getting paid on those commissions. So we cover this in more details in our training. For those of you who are again interested, here's a simple way to understand what we do. You share that patch with others, and they share with others, and you would put yourself in a position to earn commissions and bonuses. It's really that simple. It's not complicated at all. But the manager is our foundational position. If you can help four people and show them how to help four people and show them how to help four people, guess what? You will move to the rank to this company where you can earn up to $25,000 per week in commission. That is just one of the many ways that we get compensated. A second way we get compensated is something called a matching bonus. And I love the matching bonus because there's unlimited income potential in the matching bonus. And the way the matching bonus works, you sign someone up, and anybody that you personally enroll, this is a whole nother compensation plan called a uni level where you can sign up as many people as you want or share with as many people as you want. So let's say you shared it with me. I'm on your first level, your first generation, and anything that I earn, you're going to earn a 25% match. So if I had earned $100 this week, guess what? You're going to earn $25. What if I earned $1,000 this week in my commission in the binary? Guess what? You're going to earn $250 because the company wants to incentivize you to help me. And the way that you're going to incentivize is going to incentivize you to help me is if you help me build my business, guess what? You're going to benefit. But what if you enrolled 10 people who had earned $1,000 this week? That's 25%. You do the math. Now, you can sign up as many people as you want. There's no limit to that. But here's where it gets even better. I know people that you don't know. So I'm going to enroll some people. They're going to be in my first level of my first generation. That'll allow me to earn a 25% match of what they do. But because they're on your team, they're on your second generation, you're going to get a 20% match on whatever they do, whatever they earn in the binary. And that goes to one more level, to three levels, to a third level, you're going to get another 20% match. So that means you're actually getting compensated or paid for something that you did not do other than introduce me to this business. You can introduce somebody who may introduce 10, 20, 100 people. You may not, you may be the kind of person that says, hey, I just want to use the patches. But I guarantee you that when you see the benefits of it, you cannot help but share it with other people. Because anytime we have a good experience, you go to a good hairdresser, you go to a nice movie, you try a nice restaurant, don't we all share that with other people? Now, how many times has the restaurant, the movie theater, or the beautician called you and said, hey, thank you for sending those people to my establishment. Here is a commission or a bonus or a prize. That's not how it works. But that's how it works in this business. Because when you share with other people, you're expanding the business. You're building that company to us from a $600 million company to $1 billion company, and they want to reward you, and they reward you handsomely with this. Now I have a question for you. If you knew that you were getting paid while you were sleeping, how many of you would take more naps? I'd be sleeping all the time. But the bottom line is you have the opportunity to get unlimited income. There's a lot of ways to do that. Now, to take advantage of the company, for those of you who say, listen, I just want to try these patches. How can I get my hands on these patches? It's like gold. Well, you can pay $149.95 retail for a 30-day supply. A 30-day supply is basically you get a sleeve. I'm trying to find my sleeve around here. I'll show you what a sleeve looks like. Sleeve is an envelope with 30 patches in it, so we call it a sleeve. Looks like this. Hope you can see that. That's a sleeve. It's an envelope, has 30 patches inside. It's a 1 month supply, $149.95 retail. Or you can get it for 99. You can get it for what we get it for, which is $99.95. All you have to do is agree to subscribe as a preferred customer. You get the 30% discount. You're just saying, hey, I want these patches to come once a month. You set up auto to ship just like you do with Netflix and any other subscription, and you will get that discount. So you would get it for exactly what we get it for, and you have the benefits. But what if you wanted to share with other people? You have an opportunity to fill out a form and join our company, and you can get, it was called a bundle. And the benefit of getting a bundle is not only you are somebody who has the benefit of using the patch. What if you decide, you know what, let me tell my uncle, my friend, my cousin, or I know somebody who has sciatica pain. I know somebody who has migraine headaches. I know somebody has trouble sleeping. I know somebody has pain and had surgery. You can share it with them and get what's called a bundle. Now, to get a bundle, that means you can get 3 of these sleeves, which is a 90-day supply. And I recommend you don't get anything less than 90-day supply because, again, that's when your collagen really kicks in. And the more you wear it, it's a cumulative effect. Again, that's called a core pack. So the company gives you a little discount. You get it for $295 for a 90-day supply of the sleeves of X39. Now, if you happen to be a brand partner and you enroll somebody who gets a sleeve, guess what? You're going to earn a one-time $35 bonus because you share it with others because you cared about someone else. This is for somebody who said, listen, I want to see how the patches work. I want to start out using it, see how it works. So you get the core pack. But if you're somebody who says, you know what, I'm an entrepreneur, I like to generate some additional income. I'm more of a business person. I want to get at least the advanced pack. An advanced pack gives you 6 of the sleeves. You get an additional discount. Now you get it for $535 instead of $600. And you get 6 sleeves of X39. You can start a lightweight business with the opportunity. Now, if you enroll someone who gets an advanced pack and you are already a brand partner, guess what? The company's going to give you a one-time $75 bonus as a thank you for sharing it with someone else. Now, there's another pack, the most popular pack is called a premium pack. The premium pack is for the serious entrepreneur. Again, you get $2,000 worth of product for $1,750. You also will earn, if you sign somebody up who happens to get the premium pack, you earn a one-time bonus of $405. Now you have 20 sleeves of X39 and you need inventory, just like if you would open up a franchise like a McDonald's or a hot chicken or one of these other fancy fast food places. It may cost you 20, 40, 50, $100,000 to go to McDonald's or Big Chicken University. They're going to tell you exactly where to put the machines, how long to cook the fries, how to set up everything, and you can run that business because you have a system in place. Well, we have a system in place, and if you're an entrepreneur and you want to have inventory, you want to open up a restaurant and wait till you get your first order to decide to start ordering all the food and things that you need. You want to have that up front as an entrepreneur, because once you start sharing this with other people, your business will grow fast. And you have a 30-day, 100% money back guarantee on any of these bundles. Now, you also want to stay active. Active means you're banking your volume. Yeah, anytime you get one of these packs, there's volume being generated. And as long as you have a monthly subscription, at least a one sleeve monthly subscription, you will like that every volume that's accumulating will bank and you will be able to get paid on. It's like having a savings account that you eventually get paid on. But if you want to, and you can earn up to $100 per week if you have a one sleeve subscription. If you want to earn and maximize a compensation plan, you have to have at least a 2 sleeve subscription. And with that, you can actually go all the way to you can maximize the compensation plan with the 2 sleeves. And you imagine you need one sleeve for yourself because it's a 30-day supply. And if you have a spouse or significant other, you need a sleeve for them. And if you want to give out samples, you actually need another sleeve. So you need at least 2 to be a business builder, even if you're working by yourself. If you may have heard that some people, if you heard Gloria give a testimony, she had people that became customers and brand partners because she gave them samples. Again, once they see it and the benefits and effects of it, that is another way to find people who want to join your team. So again, those are the ways to get started, get compensated. Again, we go into details. We have videos, we have PDFs, we do training on how the compensation plan works. We show you how to maximize and be strategic in building wealth of the company. For those of you who want more information, go to thisisitinfo.com. Don't do a lazy Google search. Just go to thisisitit.com. A lot of time and effort was put in to put this site together. It's an informational site. You're going to find uh, the, the what else the word I'm looking for. You're going to find information about the patents. You're going to find information about the company. You're going to hear there's a video by David Schmidt himself explaining to you how he developed the science. There's testimonials on his site, hundreds of testimonies. You think of an ailment, there's likely a testimony that somebody had a benefit from it. And if you want to see how our system runs, we have a world-class training system called thisisitteam.com. On that site, we teach you everything. How do you how do you sign up a customer? How do you sign up a brand partner? How do you, this compensation plan, the presentation is on there. What to say, there's scripts on there. There's a list of all the trainings and Zooms on there. There's so much information on there. You could literally build a business if you were isolated, because everything that you need is here. But we do have teams and trainings that work together for your success. Now, I want to take a moment to, before I close out, introduce one of our partners. This gentleman is a world-class presenter, speaker. He has a background in finance. He has a background in brain, on the brain. We talk about the brain. He has a tremendous knowledge about how the brain works and how to benefit it. He is in demand from churches all around the country, now all around the world. He's often seen on television shows. He's often seen on podcasts. He's in demand. I don't know how he keeps up with it, but I want to introduce and have him share with you what this opportunity is, why it's, and what it means to be part of this organization and this crusade that we're on. Is Dr. Anthony Stroman. Are you online?
Mr. Hawkins, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can. The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you very much. Outstanding job as usual, my friend. Outstanding job. I want to commend my sister Gloria. Outstanding job as well. I will be very brief. When you look around the world, when you look at surveys based on the concerns of people around the world, it is two things: running out of health and running out of money. Those are the two concerns that most people have around the world. This is an international global business, and Mr. Hawkins broke it down. So I want you to keep that in mind. The concerns that people have. If you want to be successful, you want to be a problem solver. Imagine solving the problems of people that's concerned about running out of health and running out of money. The second thing is we do believe in the two Ds: disease-free and debt-free. I call it the two Ds. Another opportunity to be a walking blessing machine: disease-free and debt-free. When you look at business, like Mr. Hawkins broke it down, LifeWave check all the boxes for successful businesses. Don't have time to break that down, but when you look at business consultants, everything that a business consultant recommends somebody get into a business, LifeWave check all of the boxes, okay? I believe in OYH, that means own your health. OYE, own your economy. You can own your health and own your economy. So, my friends, the next 6 months, tomorrow we got 4th of July. So next 6 months, I say to all of you, why don't you declare your own independence by joining one of the most powerful companies in the world? Hawkins broke it down. We're the fastest growing company in the world as far as momentum. Need I say more? So, Mr. Hawkins, thank you always for the opportunity to share a few thoughts. Continue to do what you do. And you guys, every one of you, like I always say, live long and live strong. Have a great 4th of July.
Thank you, Dr. Strom, for your time. I know it's a pleasure to have you in there. For those of you who are interested in what you heard this evening, there is another presentation tonight at 10 o'clock for our West Coast audience. Again, the person that invited you can give you the details on that call. Again, we have several calls during the week, so you can literally build this business throughout the week from your home. We have some big events coming up. The next one is going to be on July the 19th in Atlanta, Georgia. It is called Road to Next Level Live Tour. This is actually honoring one of our leaders, Ken Robinson. Those of you know who Ken Robinson is. Ken Robinson passed during the summer, about a month and a half ago. And he was such an integral part of our team and our success that the leaders of this company are coming. You have Saheed and his wife. You have Stephen Gina Merritt, Mike and Sahi Hernandez, and Harvey and Badita Monk, who are in Atlanta. They're hosting the call. These are what they call senior presidential directors. That is the top position in the company. Without disclosing any of the income of these individuals, have created millionaires within their own teams. And they're coming together to do a live tour on Saturday, July the 19th. It's going to be $10 for members, $5 for parking. Guests are free. Even if you don't live in Atlanta, if you know anyone within an hour or two driving distance of this area, please invite them out. Life's going to be changed. And again, they're going to see the opportunity from the people who are having the most success in the company. In addition to that, we have our Next Level event. That's going to be a huge event, August 8th through the 10th in Orlando, Florida. There's still tickets available. You can go to thisisitconvention.com. And you're going to hear from the best of the best. They're going to all share with you how they got to where they are, step for step. If you ever wanted to be successful, they say always learn from somebody who's already been there. And you're going to have the most successful people in LifeWave at this event. In fact, our team is responsible for more than 60% of the company's growth over the last 3 years. So again, you couldn't be learning from a better team of people. So get the information from the person who invited you. And before closing out, I also want to share this. Withhold not good from those to it is due when it is in the power of thine hand to do so. God has given you an opportunity to hear about this information. There's no accident that you're on this call tonight. I believe in divine connections and the reason that you heard about it is because you are the kind of person that not only wants to take advantage of helping yourself, but you like helping others. And you have an opportunity to join our mission, our crusade to eliminate bad debt and bad health in our communities. Now, for those of you who are part of Erica McQueen's team, I believe she has a huddle tonight at 9 o'clock right after this call. But again, there is another presentation. So if you like what you heard tonight, you can literally join tonight, invite some people for the 10 o'clock call. They can get started and you can actually be in profit mode in the next week because we get paid on a weekly basis. That's WEEKLY weekly. And again, you have an opportunity to do so. So again, I want to thank you for your time. If you didn't do so, please put your name in the chat and then indicate who invited you. We're going to be closing out in the next 2 or 3 minutes so they can actually see that you were here. And I will see you all on the beaches of the world, literally, because the company does have trips and awards that you can actually earn as well. So take care, have a good night, And remember to put your name in the chat and let them know who invited you, or get back to the person that invited you and let them know that you are ready to get your patches or join and change your life financially as well as physically. Take care and have a good night. God bless you all.